Welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be showing you how to remove a concrete sidewalk that was damaged due to really large tree roots. Please stay tuned and continue watching until the end because we're going to be showing you the entire detailed process. If you want to learn how to do all kinds of handyman work projects, DIY projects, and maintenance work around the house, then you're in the best place here on YouTube, since that's all we do here at Frank's Handyman Service. Consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and activate the notification bell so that way you don't miss out on any future videos that we're going to be uploading. We have 30 lineal feet of raised sidewalk area that we're gonna have to remove and replace because this is a major tripping hazard and it could be a huge liability if you have this in your property. So we're gonna show you how to remove all this concrete without damaging the existing one that's gonna stay, since we're not gonna replace all of the sidewalk from property line to property line, but only a section. The first thing that we're doing here is saw cutting along the joint that is between the existing sidewalk that's going to stay and where we're going to start removing the square. The reason why we decided to cut this is we noticed that there was some rocks sticking out of the joint area. So if we would have left it like that and if we would have pulled up the concrete, it potentially could have damaged the edge of the concrete that was going to stay. So this is the results after we cut everything. You can see everything is nice and perfectly straight, and we're going to get a nice clean edge for whenever we replace the concrete. And we're using this Bobcat little equipment. It's going to help us to pick up the concrete very easily. We started over here where it was raised up the most. It was almost lifted up about a step size, and we noticed that these panels were together. So a quick way to break this up into smaller sections is you just want to lift it up a little bit and then you can hit it with a sledgehammer. That way you can easily just pick it up with your machine, and then we can load up a complete panel. I think these measure like 5 feet by 5 feet sections. So we're basically just loading it up onto the bucket, and then we lift it up high enough so that way it will go all the way in there. And then we're just gonna drop it in the entire slab. And that's pretty much what we have to do for each panel. So the next one over here, that's the one where we saw cut along the joint, and we're going to start to be very careful because as you lift it up, it's going to start wedging itself up against the other existing one. So we're going to lift it up carefully, but also pull it back. And that's what we did right there. So we pulled it back, just being as careful as we can. And then one trick that you want to do is you'll want to have some wooden stakes or metal stakes or something that you can wedge in between those joint areas. So that way, when you start moving it, or you can start pulling it back and just pushing your bucket underneath it, these stakes are going to help you so that way it doesn't press up against the other edge and damage it. And then you're going to have like a patch or something like that. So we do these kind of things so that way we can obtain the most professional results and the most quality workmanship. And like you can see right there, he's just taking his time, little by little, just getting underneath the slab as much as possible and then carefully lifting it up. And that was a huge success. Thankfully, we were able to remove this whole thing and we didn't even touch the other panel, so we're just going to be able to continue on with the rest of the slabs. Now, On this other side, you're gonna see how when we start to pull it, it's gonna come up basically like 2 slabs in one. So the joint that you see right there, it doesn't go all the way through, it didn't crack. So this is a very simple way how to proceed. Is we just have a sledgehammer, we bang on it, and then that allows us to, it basically cracks, you know, and then now we can remove it in smaller sections. And we're just gonna start doing that again. Right there, we hit the slab and then it broke into another section, and we're gonna go ahead and lift that up and load it up onto our trailer. If you don't have one of these machines, the one that we're using right here, we love it because it's very powerful, and it's not too big. I think it's about 3 foot wide, and it just has so much power to lift up, like you see right here, concrete like nothing. And it makes your job a lot easier. If you don't have one of these machines on hand, there's no worries. There's many places that rent them, and they're not that expensive. So this job, it literally took us like a little more than an hour. Like once we start getting to it, I mean, if you can see right here, we're advancing very quickly. You're just basically picking up the slabs, loading them up onto the bucket, putting them onto the trailer, and that's pretty much it. So, I mean, you can easily get this job done in a few hours. And that's pretty much the process of how you can remove the concrete the most efficient way. And that way, what we're going to do next is we're actually going to remove that tree and grind down the stump and all the roots that are in the way, so that way we can pour the concrete back to the normal level. So that's pretty much the process of how we remove the concrete and how we load it up to dispose of. You can see right there we have beautiful clean edges. We didn't damage the existing concrete. Everything's out of the way. So this is the huge pine tree that I was talking about, that's about 5 feet away from the sidewalk, and you can see that huge root that goes down through the hillside and into the sidewalk right there where the machine is. There was like 2 huge roots that went through there that lifted up all of the concrete. We hope you like this video. Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and activate the notification bell, so that way you don't miss out on any future videos that we'll be uploading in the near future. The only other thing we recommend is to put barricades and caution tape and all of that around the area, so that way it just keeps people out, and we just want to make sure that everything is safe and secure, because we're going to leave it a few days. May God bless you, and we'll see you on the next video.